You wanted the password, and I told you exactly what the password is. So this happened probably 7 to 8 years ago when I was 12 or 13. I had recently, in the last year to 2 years, which was still recent, gotten a desktop as either a birthday or Christmas gift from my dad. Aside from my mom, who had a shitty laptop and an equally shitty ancient desktop that everybody else shared, there weren't other computers in our house, and so to save myself from fighting with siblings and cousins over who got use my computer, I put a password on it that I refused to share. If my mom forced me to let someone else on my computer for a while, I'd go unlock the computer for them for the allotted time. I had to share my computer with family. Never gave my password out, and only changed it once or twice because my mom would manage to force me to tell it to her. Anyway, so a year or so after getting said computer, my mom's laptop broke, and whenever that happened, she forced me to let her on my computer so that she could get stuff done, aka play endless shitty Facebook games. Her laptop crapped out again, and she was back to hounding me constantly for the password to my computer so she could go back to Facebook. I finally got sick of it, and she started threatening to just take my computer away, so I finally just said the password is what it was when I first got the computer, telling her exactly what the password was without actually spelling it out. Cue angry half yelling because we were in a store, and she didn't want to actually yell, and me just shrugging and saying, "What? I told you exactly what the password is. Sorry you don't know what the original password was." This actually made her shut up for a while, and I kept refusing to give her my password, and she had to deal with the old shitty desktop that couldn't do Facebook for a week before she either got a new laptop or her old one fixed. Making a mess in the train because the conductor told us to. It's been a crazy, beautiful day today, and as such we've been going out of town by train. In the Netherlands, we have a law that you have to wear a face mask in any form of public transport. Now, even though our country is small, that doesn't mean train rides are short, relatively speaking. And with the blazing heat going on, we were wise to bring in some drinks along the way. And here is me opening my bottle and lifting my face mask up a bit to take a sip. Cue at this exact moment the train conductor coming along to check our boarding passes. That instantly slaps me on the hands for not having my face mask up while going for a single sip. Trying to explain them I were just going for a sip did not seem to bother him the slightest, and stressed to keep my mask on. "All right, sir. I'll keep my mask on." The conductor went on towards the next passenger, until in a split second his glare shot back to us immediately as the splotches of water fell on the floor. He stormed back towards us, beginning to lose their mind about splashing water all over the floor. I simply replied, "I'm only doing as you asked. I'm keeping my face mask on." He did not like this answer, and we were sent off the train. Luckily, my friend is the kind of person that often sees interesting video-worthy moments arrive, and you can very much guess that he captured this moment just in case this would come backfire onto us. And to have laughs, of course. Edit. Apparently, some people love to make random accusations without having even being there, so let me fill you in. No, the water was not into my mouth, nor did it touch it before it splashed to the ground. The mask was still on my face, and it was only a bit of water that hit the ground. I'm well aware about there being a pandemic and did nothing to risk compromising the health of others. You've come only to post your blind accusations by using information that wasn't written nor in any way known to you. Go somewhere else if you can't take a simple story. We can't do transfers ourselves? Fine, we'll transfer you from one end of the store to the other, then. Short one here. I was working at a grocer that had various stations where you could buy prepared food and drink, such as a hot bar, juice bar, coffee bar, pizza station, etc. My department had a couple of these stations under their umbrella, plus their main duties, and the one I worked at was at the other end of the store from this. We were constantly running out of stock, and as a result, had to grab it off the shelf and record it as a transfer. Apparently, some people weren't logging it properly, because word comes down from on high that we need a member of leadership, read, management, or a supervisor to approve the transfer, and we were no longer to do it ourselves. I had mixed feelings about calling our supervisor, a nice guy who had nothing to do with that decision, and was already overworked, over to approve transfers whenever they were required, as we couldn't continue with an order until we'd done so. After a little bit of this, he basically told us to write it in the book, and we slowly went back to the old system, even if it was technically breaking the rules. Save electricity? Okay, have it your way. Hi Reddit, I've been browsing a lot of threads, but never posted anything until now. So my story of malicious compliance is not a big one, but rather a simple one. I'll give you Redditors some small background. Also forgive me for any grammar mistakes since English is not my first language, and this story has been quite a while in the past, but I'll try to remember things as much as I can. TLDR is at the bottom. The background. I'm currently attending senior high school and currently in a language class. This is a bit important in my opinion. So the thing about my hometown is that a lot of people try to save as much money as possible. Now the main cast, M, me, SM, stepmom. Finally the story. So because of the attempt of saving as much money as possible, my family tried to cut down some costs such as a water heater and heater. We don't need it since we live in a country that's very humid and hot, a new couch and etc. So one day on a Sunday morning, I decided that I need to go to the bathroom to do my business. Apparently, when I went to do my thing, my stepmom entered my room and was mad that I still turned on the AC, so when I enter my room after doing my thing, I got an earful. Here is some of the conversation that I remember. SM, M, why are you still turning on the AC? She asks angrily. M, well, because it's hot and I'm still using it. SM, well, you could just turn it off when you were awake since there should be some cold air left from the AC. And if I find out that you did not turn off the AC past 7 a.m., you will be in trouble. M, why? Baffled that I only left the room for a few minutes. SM, why? Why? Because electricity is expensive, you idiot. M, alright, fair enough. So by this point, some of you may ask, where is the malicious compliance? Well, wait for a few more lines and it will start. So after she left the room, I did what she told me to do. I turned off the AC, and then I got an idea in my head. The next day I woke up, went out of my room, took a bath, wore my school uniform, and then turned off the AC. I did this every time I have school, and if I went out to my friends, I always turned off my phone. I have an old tab that I still use, so I can save the battery because the electricity bill is expensive, and boy did she not like what I did and starts to get annoyed, and one day she asks me, SM, M, why did you not answer all of my calls? M, because SM, I turned it off. SM, why would you turn off your phone? That's our only way calling you if anything is going on. My tab can't be called since I didn't use any service. M, because just like you said, electricity is expensive, that's why. You see, because I'm a language student, I took things as other people say. An example would be, once my dad asked me to bring out the plates and I asked which one, and he said just bring me those plates, so I did all of them, and that's how he learned. Be careful of what he says to me. Right after I told her this, she just walks away from me. I know it's nothing special, it's just some compliance, malicious compliance. I will try to answer any questions that's asked, so feel free to ask me. My father just gave up. English not first language, on mobile. So, today my father tried to do a Zoom call, and he need to do a presentation to his boss. Being a boomer of a father, he is struggling to know how to do presentation. This is before the presentation occurred. So he is me to set it up for him. But I want to go somewhere to eat first, because there is no food in the house and I am pretty hungry. So I am be like, well, how hard can it be to teach this boomer? Regret it so much. Turns out the Zoom link the boss give to my father can only be used after the host let him in. So he can't prepare for presentation. Well, no problems. I know he have other Zoom link that he can access and try to presentation there. My father got confused and stated that he want to access the link that his boss give. But I said that you can't access them. You need to wait for the host to let you in, and clearly the boss not let you in because the timer not yet comes. He want to prepare at least 10 minutes before the meeting. But my father want to test the presentation 1 hour before meeting start, and I don't know why the boss didn't give my father access. After back and forth, my father snapped on me and said he didn't want any of my help anymore. So, I obliged. I go out to buy some food. Back after 20 minutes, and still see him confused. Me just go back to my room and eat my food. After 20 more minutes, he gave up, and in defeated voice telling me to help him. I said, okay, and tell me after he got access to the meeting, and I will set up the presentation for him. The meeting's time's up, and turned out the meeting got canceled. He didn't read the message on his phone. Me just laughed out loud at my father's face. After that, I teach him how to do screen share and do presentation on his Zoom link that he has access. Don't eat all the grapes, no problem. Here's some background. This was about 4 years ago, and I was at my father's for the weekend, and I have a habit of eating all of the fruit specifically. Now he knows this and sets down rules on how much I'm allowed to have at a time. But he was in a good mood that day and said just to not eat all of the grapes, and my little brain thought, I'll just leave a few, and I did just that. When my dad came back downstairs to check on me, he saw the bowls that used to have grapes in it. What did you think was going to happen? You have me the whole bowl. And me with a SHD eating grin. To my surprise, he wasn't mad. He was actually impressed that I outsmarted him, his words not mine, and just told me not to do that anymore. Now he's more cautious with his wording around me. Aunt gets unreasonably angry with me for leaving the toilet seat up. I spent a week with my 20-something aunt and her husband when I was 14. My normal home was chill. Mom never really yelled. In fact, my friends thought it was funny what she considered yelling. My aunt, however, screamed bloody murder because I failed to put the toilet seat down. The third time she did this, I snapped and made a commitment to not only putting the toilet seat down but putting down the lid as well. If I had to do extra work, so did she. I still put the lid down on the toilet every time I use it, for the last 35 years now. I'm pretty sure I've made my point, but I'm going to keep doing it just in case. I drive my big sister crazy on a road trip. My sister, who I'll call C here, is 4 years older than me. This took place when I was 10 years old and she was 14. She gave half the back seat to me, and being the typical smartass little sibling, I sat right next to the line. I knew that she would lose her poop. She asked me to move over. I said that I wasn't over the line, and so I didn't have to move. In the front seats, our parents were smiling at my MC. She looked at me, and I swear she looked like she ate a lemon whole. Dad put an end to the problem.